I'm running out of time and I'm running out of options, and this was meant to be a week in a potter's life, but it got a little bit too real for that. Hey guys, my name is Misha and I'm a full-time ceramicist and studio owner here in San Diego. I show you what it's like to run a pottery business, from teaching to prepping for markets and selling online. So this video was meant to be just another vlog, and it ended up being something deeper than that because halfway through it, I actually got burnt out and imposter syndrome hit me like nobody's business. At the start of the week, I was really trying to get ahead of the holiday season. I had videos to film for this channel, I had classes to prep for, and planning the end of the year, because it's really gonna sneak up on us. Everything honestly looked pretty steady, and I would even say productive, but I could really feel myself getting tired almost immediately. I think I've been carrying a lot of pressure recently. Sales haven't been the same as last year, and I'm trying really hard to not compare myself to that, because reality is money's different right now. There's a lot of things that are out of my control. And then we also got the news that the building we had spent 2 months trying to lease said no. They denied our offer, no negotiation, no reason as to why, just no. And it wasn't up until I was reflecting on Saturday night, I realized all of this had a bigger effect on me than what I thought. I was actually running on empty, mentally and emotionally, and that was affecting me physically. And that's not to say that I haven't been taking breaks as I've been teaching and prepping and filming. I actually have. And that's because I'm pretty self-aware in my capacity and when I'm about to get burnt out. So I started asking friends and family for help just to make sure that I'm not fully being consumed by pottery during the season. And even the person that teaches at my studio, I started asking if she could take a few of my classes so I can focus more on the prep. That way, again, I wasn't running on empty. But even then, for some reason, I still felt like I was running on low. Like I'm running out of time to make things. Like I'm running out of options on where to move into. And honestly, I just thought to myself, instead of running away and running towards a sense of control, let me just run to God. And here's the thing. As a believer, I really prioritize rest, or at least I'm trying to improve on my prioritization of rest. So Sundays, I like to take off. I don't respond to emails. I don't look at text messages. I leave everything for Monday morning. So on Sunday, I went to church. And honestly, the best thing that could have happened that day really changed my mind on a few different things. And I wanted to share those things with you. Recently, Isaiah 55 has really been sticking out to me. In verse 10 and 11, it talks about how whatever God speaks is going to come to completion and it is going to fulfill its purpose. But what really got to me was verse 12, where it says, "For you shall go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall break forth into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands." And this really spoke to me because I feel like as I've been going through this season, yes, I'm burnt out, I'm exhausted, like I don't know what to do because I'm running on empty and I don't know how to refuel myself. And because I am taking that time to rest and ask for help, it's kind of mind-blowing to me that I'm still on empty. But I think it's because there's a part of me that is also being hit by imposter syndrome, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not qualified enough, that my finances are not enough to get the space that I want to have for my community. It's just a lot of like, not enough. As I was reading the scripture, it kind of hit me that it doesn't matter whether I think I'm enough or not. If God has already spoken that He wants to use my business as a way to bless others and to reach others, then it's gonna happen. And it's just a matter of time. That's where the imposter syndrome starts kicking in of like, why me? Like, how can I do that? And the pressure of like having to do that right now, immediately on the spot, is kind of also like a big thing for me. But I think that's when like I really had to sit within the reality. Imposter syndrome is the fear that's going to keep me from doing what I'm meant to do. Imposter syndrome is literally going to be the reason why I'm not going to achieve what I want to achieve. It's not because of my qualification, it's not because of my skill, my talent, my ability, my just like yes in general, my willingness. That's not what's going to stop me, because I have some of those things and some of those other things are growing. So this is just that quick reminder. If you're struggling with imposter syndrome, please know that it's okay. You see, the failure is not in you doubting yourself. Power of imposter syndrome comes when it actually stops you because you're doubting yourself. Doubting yourself isn't bad, but it's when you start believing the doubt and it makes you stuck. that's when it's bad. Because we all experience imposter syndrome. I can honestly say there's not a single creative or business owner that has not struggled with it. We've come to a realization that there's imposter syndrome and that I'm doubting myself, but that I shouldn't. So what now? And that's where Isaiah 55:12 really came into place for me, because it says, "For you shall go out in joy and be led forth in peace." That alone changed my entire week. And that's because I feel like a lot of times we wait to have an answer to know where we're gonna go, but this is telling us to go in joy. It's not to go in doubt. It's not to go in regret or go in fear. We're meant to go in joy. That alone was enough for me. I was like, you know what? How can I start my joy? Is just by starting with gratitude. What do you have in front of you? Because what I have in front of me is very different than what I had in front of me at the start of the year. But just because I'm in it and I have the doubt, I'm not able to see it. Step 1 is going out in joy, and then what follows along is that you're going to be led in peace. It's not just go and try to figure it out on your own. You're gonna go and God's gonna lead you in peace. He's not gonna lead you in frustration. He's not going to lead you in lack. He's not going to lead you in a sense of burnout. He's going to lead in peace. And the moment that I was like, all right, God, thank you. Like, this is what I see that you have put in my life. This is what I've seen you move in and work out in my life. Like, thank you for that. And that mindset shift allowed me to kind of see what to do next. It gave me the capacity to be led once again. And since then, I feel like there has been peace within all of that. Obviously, imposter syndrome is wanting to creep in, but it's a lot easier for me to stop those thoughts and go back into a joyful and a peaceful mindset. None of that would have happened if I hadn't taken Sunday to reset myself. And that's something that I always tell students, is that in order to start creating something, we have to be centered ourselves. Although that is very true to pottery, you have to be centered in order to create something out of the clay. It's very true to ourselves in everyday life. If we're not centered, if we are working out of a place that is out of lack, it's out of burnout, it's out of doubt, we're not going to be able to create all that much and create in a way where like it has a positive impact. It's not to say that it has to be life-changing what you're doing, but just like, how is that impacting you? Is it impacting you in a positive way or in a negative way? Is what you're creating also cultivating frustration in you because you're just going into mass production and you are not finding rest? So now there's all of this like bitterness and like anger inside of you. And it was also such a good reminder for myself as to why I started in the first place. It wasn't for the hustle, because like, who starts a business for the hustle? But it's more out of this place of really nurturing a community that is going to help others create and connect. So with faith also comes trust. Trust that what God has for me is gonna come. And it's just a matter of me walking out in joy in this present time and waiting for Him to lead in peace. And see, that's what I want for my students as well. I want them to come into a space where they're running out of a place of calm and they are able to create a rhythm for themselves. Because pottery is so much more than just technique or skill. It's all about patience. It's all about like trust and faith. It's honestly just like therapy in motion. And again, imposter syndrome is not about never doubting yourself. It's about overcoming that little voice in your head that says you're not good enough, you're not qualified enough. It's about moving through the doubt. So with that being said, I wanted to share a few different tips to overcome imposter syndrome. 1, remember who called you. When I forget my why and I start forgetting my worth, I have to remind myself that I'm not the one that put myself in this place. And if He called me to it, He's going to equip me. And I can genuinely say that I am seeing that growth. Not to be tooting my own horn, but like, it's just astonishing to me the way that the further and further that I go into my business and the more that I grow, the more I can quiet down the imposter syndrome. Now here's the second thing I learned. Focus on stewardship and not perfection. Instead of trying to be your best, focus on being faithful with what you have right in front of you. If I was really dwelling on the fact that I don't have a bigger building right now, I wouldn't be serving the community that I do have in my studio right now. I think I would just be super bitter. I think I would be overflowing with anger towards my students and my members, and that is very dishonoring of what I've been entrusted with and very dishonoring to those that are investing in me. And not just investing in me, but investing in themselves as well. So remember, you still have something in your hands to steward, you still have something in your hands to work with, and focus on that versus what you're lacking. Number 3, speak truth over lies. This can be as simple as whenever you're thinking, I'm not ready enough, I'm not equipped enough, you have to say the opposite out loud. Just say, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm capable. Yes, it can feel silly, but sometimes we really need that reminder. And number 4, which I'm still trying to improve upon because I'm not perfect at it. Number 4 is to take rest seriously. And it might be just the entire hustle culture or the American dream. We feel like rest is weakness, but rest is not weakness. It's actually resilience. It's how we get a reminder that we are not our productivity. And I think this is such a thing I want to emphasize. You are not defined by your work, by your sales, by the growth of your business. That has nothing to do with you. That is an expression of you. That is an extension of you, but that is not you. And lastly, number 5, surround yourself with people that see you. Community really matters. And having people that remind you of your gift when you don't see it is very important. And that's honestly what I want my studio to be. I want it to be a space where people are able to come in with lots or no skill and be able to grow. I want them to be able to feel like it's a safe space to continue to grow and connect, and a space where people are reminded who they are, not for who people tell them that they are, but for who they genuinely are. And that can only be found out by community and doing life together. So now that we've talked about the burnout that we were in and the imposter syndrome that has kicked in as well, and we've realized how to overcome those two things, what now? Well, for me, practically what that's gonna look like is to stock up on my inventory. It's moving in faith and in joy. Now that I've re-energized myself and I've had a day off, I really do feel like I can go back into production and do it out of joy and not just dwelling in the fact that I have so much to make. But it's more like I want to make these pieces so I'm ahead of the holiday chaos where people are going to start ordering like crazy, and I don't want to be in that situation again. I have so many orders coming in and I can't keep up with it, because then that's when I go into burnout all over again. So I'm stocking up on inventory. I'm keeping my eyes peeled for new opportunities for buildings. And the reality is I don't have all the answers yet, and I don't need all the answers, but I'm learning that sometimes the most faithful thing that I can do is trust God. And it's not just trust God, but trust God and find rest, because what's gonna be meant for me is gonna come, and I don't have to be chasing after it in a way where I need to have control over it, because there is a part for me to play, but the moment that I start holding on to that control is when I start getting burnt out and the imposter syndrome wants to kick in. So while I wait, I'm gonna keep on showing up for myself, showing up for my students, showing up for my studio, and really being there for every single person that walks into my studio, because I never know who's walking in that's gonna start looking for rest. So if you're in a season that's very uncertain, maybe you're burnout too, I hope this reminds you that you're not alone. It's completely okay to pause, and it's okay to rest. And I just want to say thanks for being here and for being a part of this journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe even send this to someone that needs a reminder that it's okay to find rest. And if you've been thinking about starting pottery or just need a space to slow down, I'll leave the links down below for any courses that we have coming up and our membership. You're always welcome here. See you guys next week.